What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and up next, got a pretty big unboxing here. One of these is a really big key, and it's one that I think is actually really undervalued right now, and I think is one that you should try to pick up if you can. And there are some ways that you can potentially find them at a discount, and so I'm going to talk about that coming up next. Alright, so before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. So, got two boxes here. One of them, this one has a real big slab in it. The other one has a number of raw books, maybe like 6 raw books. And so, I'll actually open the slab first this time. I'll open the bigger book first, and I'll talk about why I think this book is so undervalued right now, and also why I buy this type of book, and why I think it's a good alternative. And it's often one that is either looked down on a little bit or overlooked or that kind of thing, but that's exactly why you can find them at pretty good prices every once in a while. So packaged really well, you know, in a box. Lots of bubble wrap. I've bought from this seller a number of times before. His name is Monster Comic Shop. I'm gonna check him out on Instagram. He also sells at shows and that kind of thing too. He does. I know he occasionally will sell at shows. But yeah, so plenty of bubble wrap, and then a little more bubble wrap. And I think everybody will recognize this book when they see it. It is basically the biggest Bronze Age book that's out there, or close to it. And so this is Hulk number 181. And you can see it's a green label, and so it's got Marvel value stamp missing from page 10, does not affect story, incomplete. It's also got this really cool date stamp that I always like it when they put that date stamp in a spot that's kind of like visually appealing on the cover, not just randomly, but the person purposefully, oriented the date stamp, got it right on the L. So I thought that looks really cool there. But everybody knows, first full appearance of Wolverine. First time you see him is in Hulk 180, but the big book is Hulk 181, one of the most expensive Bronze Age books out there. And it's a really nice looking 7.0. It's got a little bit of damage on the edge there that I'm sure is what's really knocking it down, but a clean looking book. And even though it's it's off-white to white, but that cover looks really nice, really sharp. And so with this book, what I'm talking about is the green labels, these qualified label books, because for me, I'm always very concerned with price. That's something that it's the way I buy books. I'm always very concerned with price. And so what I've seen, and the reason I have owned now 3 green Hulk 181s, the qualified label Hulk 181s, and no blue label Hulk 181s, is that I come across deals on green labels sometimes. It's still not often. I mean, I've bought 3 over the course of like 3 years. And so, whereas I've bought 0 blue labels over the course of like 3 years. And so that tells me that at least I can come across deals with this book where I feel like I'm buying it, fair amount under fair market value. I feel like it's a great price on the book because there's a little less demand for the green labels. And so they get looked down on a little bit sometimes. But there's still a lot of demand for this book. When I sold my, I have an 8.0, I also have an 8.0 green label. But when I sold my 7.0 that I had before, I had that book up for less than a week and it sold. People still want the green label book. You still get the awesome cover. You still get, Wolverine battling the Hulk. Everything looks the same. It's just on the inside, there's a little piece that's cut out. And so there's still a ton of demand for it, and you get it at a discount. So you get a book that presents like a 7.0, which is probably a $6,000 book now, maybe $7,000 book now, and you get it for quite a bit less, usually around 60% of value for the green label. And this one actually got for even below that, because that's why I thought it was just a great deal why I picked it up. And so that's the thing. I think this book, for one, is very undervalued right now, since I'm sure we're going to get Wolverine at some point, and there's talk that we're going to get the X-Men, or at least some part of the X-Men in the Doctor Strange movie. And so once you have that universe there, once you have it in the MCU where you've got that universe there, then that's when the speculation all starts about when are you going to get these different characters and everything. That's when the books will really pop off, and that's when it's going to be even harder and harder to get them. So whether it's a green label or a blue label or Hulk 180 or 182 or whatever it is, I recommend going after these Wolverine keys, because he's such a big character, such a in-demand character, that even though there are a ton of these books out there, there's a ton of demand for them. And so for me, I like the green labels. I mean, I don't mind at all. And, yeah, maybe I'd like to have a blue label copy, but it really doesn't bother me that I have a green label copy. And I think this one, I'm actually a little torn, because my other one is an 8.0 white pages, but I like the presentation of this book a little more. It has a little better wrap, and I like that date stamp. And so I may decide just to sell my 8.0 and keep the 7.0 again. I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to think about it with that one, but I definitely recommend going after those Wolverine keys, especially Hulk 181 if you can pick one up. And if you're looking for that discount on that book, go for the green label. I mean, there is still a ton of demand for those books. Like I said, they sell not, almost just as quickly as the blue labels. And yeah, they may be worth less than the blue labels, but they're still going to move in a similar percent increase, decrease when you have changes in the values of those books. So it's the same as buying like a 9.6 versus a 9.8 versus a 9.4. A lot of times you'll get the same return on a book, whether increase or decrease in value, as the 9.8. It's just that it's the 9.6 or the 9.4. It doesn't have as high of a base value, but the return on the book is often very similar. And so same thing with Hulk 181 with those green labels. And if you want to have one in your collection and you want to get it for a more affordable price and have one that actually presents pretty well, green labels are a great option. All right, now I've got the second box here, and I bought a number of books from the seller. So he had a Instagram sale, and there were a number of people on there. It was like a free-for-all, claiming books. And so I bought a few books from that sale, and I bought a few books from him outside of that sale. And so let's see how many are in here. Like I said, I don't remember exactly how many I bought. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7 books. So there's 7 books in here. There's a mix of Golden Age and Silver Age. A number of books I've never had before, so I'm pretty excited for that. So the first one was, I just thought it was a cool pre-code horror cover. This is Haunted Thrills, number 12. So it's got this skull cover, which, woman on the cover in the red dress. And it doesn't have the issue number on the cover. For whatever reason, a lot of times they didn't put them there, and so you have to check the inside. But this is issue number 12. I just thought that was a cool book. I always like getting the pre-code horror stuff, and I don't think I've ever had a copy of a book from that title either. Then the next one, this is a cool L.B. Cole cover. I was happy to pick this one up. I have never had a copy from this run, and this is actually a run of books. If you're interested in getting into L.B. Cole, they tend to be a little more affordable, and this is Contact.comics, number 4. And it's definitely got some, staple wear up there. It might even be detached, I don't know, at that staple. But in general, look how bright that is. That is a really bright looking copy. It's a nice presenting copy. And it was a very affordable book. So that's why if you want to get introduced to some of these Golden Age artists, they have books that are really expensive and books that are less expensive. Like Contact Comics number 12 is an extremely expensive book, but this one, Contact Comics number 4, much more affordable. Then this one, I've never had a book from this run before, so I thought this was a fun one to pick up. And this was Mad number 4. And so these early Mad magazine books can be pretty pricey, pretty expensive. And so this is just, it's got a fun title or a fun cover, or just, this, you got the attractive woman, and for whatever reason, lots of people are trying to kill her. I don't know why, but yeah, Mad number 4. Those early issues, like I said, can command quite a bit of value, and I thought this one actually presented really nice. Then Another Golden Age, and I don't remember if this is at LB Cole or not. It might be. But this is All Famous Crime, number 5. And again, just a cool looking cover. I think this is the last issue of the run. It's a really short run. Or I think it changes titles right after this to something else, because they change titles all the time with these books back in the Golden Age. But yeah, nice looking copy of this one. Just anytime you can find these, nicer presenting Golden Age books, I mean, I think it's worthwhile to get. And so I thought that was a cool cover. So All Famous Crime, number 5. Now moving into the Silver Age. I've got a DC book that I just can't seem to buy enough. And so this is Batman number 181. And, it's a little lower grade copy. You've got this big, marker streak on the cover. And this cover is just known for having color rub. I mean, there's always color rub on this book, unless you get lucky and get one of these really high grade copies, but just almost always color rub on this book, and this one is no exception. You have that, general wear on the cover and everything like that, but, lower grade copy, but makes them a little more affordable, and it's been one of just the hottest books out there. This book has gotten really, really expensive. And I think it's just been along with Harley Quinn, because this is the first appearance of Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn and her seem to just go together. And so when you've got the Harley Quinn books really spiking, we've seen Poison Ivy books spiking too. Right, now this next one, I just thought this was a cool one to pick up. This is just an awesome Buscema battle cover, and this is Submariner number 8. And so Buscema did a few different battle covers. The other big one is Fantastic Four 112, which is another one of the Thing Hulk battle covers. And it's also a black cover, so real tough to get in high grade. This one is Submariner and Thing, and I think that this is just it was a pretty affordable copy. I thought this is just a really cool book to pick up. Never had this one before, and I think Buscema is one of the best artists of this period, and so I love getting these covers of him, or that he did. He did the Submariner 5 and 6. It's the first appearance of Tiger Shark, and then the second appearance of Tiger Shark. I think that second appearance of Tiger Shark, that cover is one of the best covers in that time period, especially in this run. I really like that one. So cool book to pick up. And then the last one here. This is one that I'm actually thinking of maybe doing a giveaway with this book. So maybe in a future video, we'll see. But this one has a ton of first appearances in it. This is Thor number 127. It's the first appearance of Pluto, who is Hades, the first appearance of Hippolyta, the first appearance of the Serpent of Asgard, and then there's one other character it's the first appearance for too, and there might be something else in there too. So it is it's a multi-key. Now they're all minor characters right now, but all it takes is one of those characters showing up in some MCU show, and then this book just pops off. That's just the way it works. And so this is actually just the second issue of the Thor titled run, because it switched over from Journey into Mystery to Thor at issue 126, and then this is 127. So one issue later, real cool picture of Odin carrying Thor, and so I just thought this was a cool book to pick up. And like I said, I might do a giveaway with this one in a future video. So those are all the books that I picked up. I thought I had some pretty cool books, a nice mix. You've got Golden Age all the way up through Bronze, and then this is the big one, obviously, in this haul of books, the Hulk 181. And like I said, I really do think that this is a really good option to get invested in this character. If you want to have a copy of Hulk 181, this is a great way to get it. And the green label matches Hulk, so another way that's just like a little positive with this book. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. I've got more videos over here if you'd like to watch some of my other videos, and the subscription button right here if you'd like to subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.